Council. This is the City Council meeting and public hearing for November 6, 2023. Go ahead and call this meeting to order. I'll note for the record that all members of council are present and accounted for, except for Councilman Hypes and Councilman Dorito. We always begin with a Pledge of Allegiance. So if you would, I'd like to invite Mr. Roger Wise up to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. If you're able, please stand and join us.
It's okay. It's okay. Okay.
But freedom is not free. Someone has to pay for it. When you see a veteran, you walk up to them and say, thank you for your service to our country. When you see a first responder, you walk up to them and say, thank you for your service to our community. Remembering freedom is not free. Respect your veterans and respect your first responders. Please join me in pledging allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, the United States of America. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. God bless America.
Thank you, sir. And you'll notice on the agenda this evening that we do have two proclamations and presentations. We'll begin with the proclamation for National Native American Heritage Month. So if the representatives from the Daughters of the American Revolution will join me out front. Thanks, sir. Good evening, ladies.
Good evening.
Thank you once again for joining us on this occasion. Is there anything you'd like to say?
Yes. My name is Deborah Kelly. I'm the Regent for Patriots of Liberty Chapter, Daughters of the American Revolution. I'm here with our second Vice Regent, Linda Bush, and our organization's mission is to promote patriotism, education, and the preservation of American history. We're very grateful to Mayor Gilvin and the City of Alpharetta for proclaiming Veterans Day to be recognized as Veterans Day.
We're doing the Veterans Day proclamation next.
This is Native American Heritage Month, which definitely fits into our mission of American history preservation, and we are very thankful to you for that.
Thank you. Anything to add?
She's wearing
Celebrating.
She has Native American culture.
Zuni and Navajo.
Okay. Well, thank you. So I'll read the proclamation. It's by the Mayor and Council of the City of Alpharetta, Georgia, National Native American Heritage Month 2023. Whereas National American Heritage Month began as an effort to gain a day of recognition for the contributions made by the first Americans and was expanded, resulting in the month of November being recognized as National Native American Heritage Month, and whereas the history and culture of our great nation has been significantly influenced by the contributions the Native Americans made to the establishment and growth of the United States, and whereas it was the Native Americans who taught the settlers how to harvest their own crops and survive in their new country. Additionally, Native Americans have enhanced the freedom, prosperity, and greatness of America today. The rich culture, traditions, and history are respected and celebrated as part of a rich legacy throughout the United States. And whereas in honor of National Native American Heritage Month, communities coordinate cultural, artistic, educational, and historical celebrations. Now, therefore, we, the Mayor and City Council of the City of Alpharetta, Georgia, do hereby recognize National Native American Heritage Month and are grateful for the many contributions made to our great country. So proclaimed the 6th day of November, 2023, by the Mayor and City Council of the City of Alpharetta, Georgia.
One, right?
Yeah, we're just showing
Oh, okay. All right.
Beautifully written, thank you.
And now, for those of you who may not be keeping up, we have Veterans Day coming up on November 11th, this Saturday. And so we have a proclamation to honor those veterans who have served and made this nation possible and continue to defend it. And I would like to call forward some of our veterans. Actually, any of you who are veterans are welcome to come join us.
Come on down there, Brian.
And I'll allow Mr. Wise to say a few words.
Thank you very much, Mayor. This is a very special day, Veterans Day. We were out at the math science school this week. 80 fourth graders. They wanted to honor veterans. Our color guards presented colors. We went in and busted up and went into 4 classrooms, 20 fourth graders. Some of the questions they asked and their enthusiasm for veterans was stimulating. I stepped out in the hall 1 or 2 times because I started crying. It was just something special. And for you, Mayor, City Council, and others, to pay recognition to veterans goes a long way. It's never been more important than it is right now to let a veteran know that you appreciate their service to our community and also to our country. So we accept this on behalf of the American Legion Post 201. We have one of the largest posts in the country right here in Alpharetta, Georgia. So we accept this on behalf of our post members and all the veterans that live in the community. Thank you, and God bless America.
Thank you, sir. Would anyone else like to say anything?
I think Roger expressed enough for all of us.
Okay, thank you. Well, I'll go ahead and, Councilman Will, would you like to say anything? No, sir. Roger did a good job. Fantastic. All right, so I get the honor of reading this proclamation by the Mayor and Council of the City of Alpharetta, Georgia, Veterans Day 2023. Whereas residents of Alpharetta in the United States of America live in freedom because of the contributions and personal sacrifices made by those who have served and who currently serve in the armed forces. And whereas the words of the first Veterans Day proclamation signed by President Eisenhower still ring true, let us solemnly remember the sacrifices of all those who fought so valiantly on the seas, in the air, and on foreign shores to preserve our heritage of freedom, and let us reconsecrate ourselves to the task of promoting and enduring peace, so that their efforts shall have not been in vain. And whereas our local communities have always provided the best and brightest individuals to serve bravely in America's armed forces, we remember with somber and grateful hearts those who served in the military with distinction and valor, and we offer sincere prayers for those who continue to defend the principles on which our nation was founded. And whereas we will endure to always honor the contributions and sacrifices of the millions who have, over the centuries, served in the military, and the tens of thousands presently serving, whether home or abroad. And whereas we are proud to recognize our country's veterans and extend the appreciation of our citizens to those who wear the uniforms of the United States of Armed Forces. and serve on the front lines preserving our freedom and liberties. Now, therefore, we, the Mayor and City Council of the City of Alpharetta, Georgia, do hereby recognize November 11th, 2023 as Veterans Day in the City of Alpharetta and urge all citizens to observe and appreciate the sacrifices and contributions of our veterans who fought for peace and defended democracy on our land and abroad. So proclaimed this 6th day of November, 2023, by the Mayor and City Council of the City of Alpharetta, Georgia. Squeeze on in, gentlemen.
We don't.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, sir. Thank you. You made all this possible. Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone. I'll note for the record that Councilman Dorito has joined us for the record. And the first item up on our agenda after that will be the consent agenda. Consent agenda consists of the City Council meeting minutes from the meeting of October 16th, 2023, as well as the City Council meeting minutes from the meeting of October 23rd, 2023, the alcoholic beverage license applications, PH-23-AB-24, CVR Creations, LLC DBA, Painting with a Twist, 11770 Haynesbridge Road, 801 Alpharetta, Georgia, 30009, and also PH-23-AB-25, the Metropolitan Club, Inc., 5895 Windward Parkway, Alpharetta, Georgia, 30005. It's an event venue, change of business ownership, assumption on the premises. Owner and Metropolitan Club, Inc., registered agent, Payam Pourreza. And final item on the consent agenda is the financial management report for the month ending August 31st, 2023. Is there anyone who would like to remove anything from the consent agenda?
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor, I'd ask to remove the city council meeting minutes from 10/16/23. I was not present.
All right, sir.
And then could I ask that we remove 1023, because I was not present at that one, and do it separately?
All right.
Thank you.
So removing those two items. Ms. Shapiro, do we have any public comment cards?
We do not, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Do I have a motion for possible approval of items just C and D?
Yes, Mayor, I move to approve items C and D in the consent agenda.
I have a motion by Councilman Dorito. Do I have a second? I have a second by Councilman Will. Any discussion? All those in favor of approving items C and D on the consent agenda, please vote yes. Otherwise, vote accordingly. And it does pass unanimously. Would I have a motion on item A, which were the council meeting minutes for the meeting of October 16th, 2023?
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to approve the meeting minutes from 10/16 of 2023.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilman Will, a second by Councilman Mitchell to approve the meeting minutes from October 16th's meeting. Any discussion? All those in favor, please vote yes. And that does pass unanimously. Do I have a motion for the city council meeting minutes for October 23rd, 2023?
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor, make a motion to approve the meeting minutes from October 23rd of 2023.
Second?
I have a motion by Mayor Pro Tem Merkel and a second by Councilman Dorito. Any discussion? All those in favor, please vote yes, otherwise vote accordingly. And that does pass unanimously as well. So that'll wrap up the consent agenda for this evening, except for the financial management report. We did go ahead and vote on those. My apologies. So we'll move on to new business for this evening, and that's the resolution, the retiree health plan and retiree health reimbursement plan. Easy for me to say. Ms. F. Swine, if you'll go ahead and read the resolution, we'll allow Director Harris to come forward.
A resolution by the mayor and council of the city of Alpharetta, Georgia, to adopt the amended and restated retiree health plan and retiree reimbursement plan.
Thank you very much. Director Harris, you have the floor.
Yes, good evening, Mayor and Council. The city has had a retiree health plan since 1999. There's actually been two components. The older component was around since 1999, and that component involved that if you left here after 10 years of service and 55 years of age, you could pay for our health insurance, but you had to pay 100% of the cost of that health insurance. It's like a COBRA. And since that time, there's been a lot of changes, obviously, with the Affordable Care Act and finding health insurance on the marketplace, et cetera. So with the intent that we want to make improvements to the other part of the plan, retiree health plan, which includes a reimbursement benefit that we put in 2018. The intent is, as it was budgeted in the budget this year, is to close this plan, cease the plan as it relates to offering that ability for employees to elect to pay 100% of the premiums for that plan, and instead cease that plan except for the 6 or 7 retirees that are in it now. So we've had about, I think in the last 10 years, maybe 15% at most opt to do this, and it's usually for a few years. It ends at age 65. So the intent is, because that fund actually had, or that plan required us to fund it to make sure that it was sufficient or that it was fully funded. We have some dollars in that fund that if we cease that plan, we can put it into the next benefit. So I start off with that component. The other component, as I mentioned, is the retiree health reimbursement plan that council supported. I think it's a big push by Councilman Mitchell. I think he may have been the temporary mayor at the time, but with some benefit improvements for our employees in 2018. And we started funding 2% of our payroll as a city to put it in that trust for the purposes of paying for like a longevity benefit for those employees that are here 15 or more years. That money would go into a fund, and then the board would hire an actuary, and then the actuary would say, well, if you fund that and you make investment returns, what kind of money benefit can we provide our retirees for medical reimbursement expenses? And so it's tax-free to them 100%, and that has been in existence since 2018, and it's a lifetime benefit into the death of the participant at approximately $300 a month. Again, as we rolled forward into this year's budget with all the issues with retention and primarily retention or actually hiring as well, was the concept of improving that benefit. Can we get more bang out of the buck from the $300 to something more manageable that gives somebody the feeling that they can leave here, retire, and draw on this benefit? So by closing out the one plan, by increasing the contribution 2 to 2.5%, which is takes another $175,000 of the budget, which was budgeted, then the board will, if this gets approved by these changes, the board, the pension board, will hire the actuary again and pay for the study. And the conceptual back of napkin number is that that would get us close to $800 a month for a member that has been here 15 or more years of service. It's $800 if they're here for 25 years, but they get a pro rata of that $800. So that's like a $9,000 or $9,500 year benefit for 10 straight years. So you would end up at $95,000 basically in your account to your credit as an employee to use for medical reimbursement during any time. You can even use it after the 10 years, but there'll be 10 years of credited payments made to you. So hopefully that explains it. Gets a little complicated, I apologize, but just wanted to make sure we're aware of what benefits we're providing.
Any questions for Director Harris? Councilman Dorito?
Director Harris, just curious, the current program since 2018, the 2% contribution, funding contribution we make, is there a balance in that fund?
Yes, $3 or $4 million, I think.
Okay.
Again, yeah.
So that's the balance for future
Correct.
recipients of those funds?
Correct, and we'll continue to
So
put
that
2.5%.
that would transfer to the new fund?
Right, and I did want to mention that this creates a tier 2 for those that leave after July 1 of this year. We'll get the 10-year window with the 2.5% of pay with the most likely a larger number than the 300 because it's a shorter window and the funding is going up to 0.5%. Tier 1 are those that have already left.
Still
There's no
continue
changes.
Under the old program?
Yes, under the old program. And one last thing.
life, for
The
life.
actuary will come in starting now and amend that number possibly as well, that maybe it's $310 or $320 because of the ability to fund a little bit of cost of living type thing. So that number will change as well, but it's two different funding structures.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Director Harris? Thank you, sir. Ms. Shapiro, do we have any public comment cards?
We do not, Mr. Mayor.
However, if anyone would like to come forward, now's your opportunity. Seeing none, we'll close public comment. Do I have a motion from council? Hold on for a second. Sure.
Good thing we have a sign. Yes, sir, I move that we adopt a resolution amending and restating the retiree health plan and the retiree health reimbursement plan.
Second.
So we have a motion by Councilman Binder, a second by Mayor Pro Tem Merkel, and that was to approve the resolution retiree health plan as outlined in the motion. Any discussion? Councilman Will?
Tom, I appreciate what you did on this. I know we talked a lot about this over the past year, so I think this is an amazing benefit for our employees, and I don't know what our communication is about this, but I think this is friggin' huge. So, thank you.
Ditto. Anyone else?
Quick question, Mayor.
Councilman
Do
Dorito?
other cities around us have anything like this that you're aware of?
No, not in Georgia, I don't think. This model is used in Florida.
I echo
know quite a few, yeah.
Councilman
And
Will's comments. This is awesome for our employees, and it's a huge benefit that keeps our benefits package overall, keeps these great individuals, professionals retaining with the city until they decide to retire. So thank you for pulling this together, Tom.
Any other discussion? We have a motion. All those in favor of the motion, please vote yes. Otherwise, vote accordingly. And it does pass unanimously. Thank you very much. Next item is the resolution for the combined defined benefit pension plan. Ms. Eswine, if you'll read the resolution.
A resolution by the mayor and council of the city of Alpharetta, Georgia, to adopt the amended and restated City of Alpharetta Combined Defined Benefit Pension Plan, the plan.
Thank you very much. Director Harris, once again, you have the floor.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. The combined defined benefit pension plan has been closed to new participants since June 30th, 2009, and it was last restated in 2016. And although the plan is closed, there's times when definitions or when an actuary is reading something versus our legal attorney on the board, there's some confusion about how that benefit would ultimately get calculated or be applied. And then there's other language related to IRS rules, et cetera, and that need to be updated in the plan document. So there's really nothing but primarily cleanup items. There's been a slight change to, I would say probably one of the bigger ones, and although it has no material effect on the plan, is a pre-retirement death benefit. We recognized when there is a pre-retirement death benefit that the spouse or the beneficiary would receive 50% joint survivor of that benefit upon that the employees, what they would have been when they would have gotten their normal retirement age. And in a couple cases, you can also take it on an early retirement when they would have been 55. They deceased before they were 55. And if they, the way the benefit was calculating was treating an active employee who passed away while working for us still, that benefit to the spouse exactly the same as if they had left us, and it was discounted quite a bit to the spouse the spouse or the beneficiary of that participant to a level that we didn't think was ever the intent that an active employee who dies while still working for us, that death benefit was supposed to be, the language was supposed to support what I think this is what we're doing. So that's the case.
Any questions for Director Harris on this item? Thanks, sir. Ms. Shapiro, do we have any public comment cards?
We do not, Mr. Mayor.
However, if anyone would like to come forward, now is your chance. Seeing none, we'll close public comment. Do I have a motion from council?
Yes, sir. I move that we approve the resolution to adopt the amended and restated City of Alpharetta Combined Defined Benefit Pension Plan.
I have a motion by Councilman Binder. I think maybe Councilman Will had the second by a hair. Any discussion? All those in favor of the motion as outlined by Councilman Binder, please vote yes. And it does pass unanimously. Next item up is the task order for the fiscal year 2024 stormwater pipelining services. Director Sisevich.
Yes, good evening, Mayor and Council. Before you tonight is a request to fund $305,707.50 to utility asset management to line the larger pipes in the city. We have another vendor that takes the smaller ones, but we're going to be doing spin casting for these larger 3 feet in diameter pipes. Corrugated metal pipe lasts about 25 years, and these pipes are not at the failure point, so we're going to line them so they can extend for us a longer service life.
Any questions? Councilman Will.
Hey, Pete, just a curiosity question. How backed up are we on relining these pipes? Like, we're doing this project, but like, how much more is out there?
Over 200 work orders.
Do we have a time frame in mind for those 200? Are we just waiting on contractors? Are we waiting on money?
So it's a little bit of both. One is that they're not at the point of like severity that we have to do them right away. These right now, when we finish these work orders, we'll be done with all of the larger pipes. So now we're dealing with the 18-inch, 24-inch size pipes, and then we'll be getting another task order to our vendors. So we basically do about $1 million of pipelining a year.
So we're nothing's stopping us. We're just rolling.
Keep rolling. Yep.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Any other questions? Thank you, Pete.
Thank you.
Ms. Shapiro, do we have any public comment cards?
We do not, Mr. Mayor.
But if anyone would like to come forward, talk about stormwater pipelining services, now is your chance. Seeing none, we'll close public comment. Do I have a motion from council?
Yes, Mayor. I move to approve a task order in the amount of $305,707.50 for pipelining services to Utility Asset Management, Inc. under the city's on-call stormwater pipelining services contract and authorize the mayor to execute all necessary documents.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilman Dorito, a second by Councilman Mitchell. Any discussion? Appreciate it, Pete.
Thank you.
Y'all keep plugging away, man. We're making a dent in it. All those in favor of the motion? Did you have a comment? Oh, okay. All those in favor of the motion, please vote yes. Otherwise, vote accordingly. And it does pass unanimously.
Thank you, Mayor and Council.
Ms. Shapiro, do we have any public comment cards?
We do not, Mr. Mayor.
However, now is your last chance. Seeing none, we'll close public comment. Any reports this evening? Councilman Will?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I want to talk about something real briefly that I'm proud of the city for doing. We approved a blood cancer screening test for the fire department not too long ago. Most people don't know that I think firemen have a much higher risk of cancer just because of the carcinogenics that are involved in the job they do. And we had, just to report back on that, we had 85 firemen take advantage of that blood test. Of the 85, 82 came back as a low risk, although 3 of those were referred to, they weren't referred to the doctor, they were referred to baseline, what's it called? Whatever, we mark their baseline so that we can track them moving forward. 3 of them came back mild, and they have been referred to a doctor. So had we not done the test, we have 3, if not 6 firemen who needed to go see the doctor just for early screening. So the city took care of that. I'm proud of the city did that. It was a good investment in our employees, and hopefully the 6 people that have elevated markers are going to be good. So thank you to the city of Alpharetta for doing that.
Thank you for pointing that out, Councilman Will. We appreciate it. Glad no one was any worse than that. Any other reports? I do have one report then. So a couple of weeks ago, actually, I think 2 weeks ago tomorrow, I happened to be speaking to a Rotary Club here in North Fulton, the North Fulton Rotary Club. And I had those opportunities quite a bit. Had a great discussion, told them a little bit about what we're doing and updates on developments and things like that in the city of Alpharetta. And then I always take questions from the audience. And the first person to question me was someone who's in the real estate business, has a podcast, does a video of the podcast. And he was, during my presentation, I talked about the redevelopment of North Point Mall and that whole corridor. And the city has been working for quite some time now to come up with a plan that would work well for the investors and the group that's interested in redeveloping that property and possibly incorporating some sports component. And, you know, of course, with all the rumors that have been going around, the first question was, are we going to get a hockey team? And I made it clear that, look, that's something that is not in our control. That there's rumors going around. We're certainly interested, and we've been working to do something because we think this is a great city, that North Point Mall would be a great property for a battery-type development. And you know, I pointed out, look, we've got great demographics, we've got great transportation here, we've got bus rapid transit coming, we've got a lot of other amenities that are complementary with the amphitheater and Topgolf and the restaurants and things like that. And one gentleman that was asking me about it specifically because he had interviewed Senator Brandon Beach a couple of days prior to this. And he was quite surprised that I was talking about having a sports development and that, you know, there might be an opportunity at some point for a hockey team to come to the city of Atlanta, but we weren't planning on anything else. But if they're coming here, we'd sure like to have a talk with anybody that's wanting to bring a team. And he was quite confused because he had been interviewing Senator Brandon Beach, and Senator Beach said, you know, had gone on and on about how that deal's already done. It's going to Forsyth County, just over the border from Alpharetta, which in some cases might be fine. But as the mayor of Alpharetta, I know that Brandon Beach is paid very well by the North Fulton CID, Community Improvement District. That is a group of commercial property owners who've taken it upon themselves to pay over and above the property taxes they pay to the city, over and above what they pay Fulton County, over and above what they pay the Fulton County school system, to invest in infrastructure in the city of Alpharetta. Senator Beach, I believe, is even quoted as saying that 80% of their revenues come from the city of Alpharetta. And the fact that he had been interviewed and has been publicly telling people, and in this video, which is available online, talking about how this is all going to Forsyth County, when the whole point of the CID is to try to promote economic development and improvement in our tax bases. So we've got property owners that are paying additional funds to pay for Senator Beach's salary and improve the city of Alpharetta's tax revenue, and yet he's working with a team that's not in his district. That was frustrating. Now, I say this because that was 2 weeks ago. I copied our city council on it. I copied some of his board members, and I've not even received a response. Now, if he has a legitimate reason for working against our property owners, then I would expect him to at least share that with me. And if I do eventually hear from Senator Beach, I'll let you know. But not only does he sit on the North Fulton CID, he's also a part of the Development Authority of Fulton County. So I'm sure that the Fulton County Commission and our commissioners in North Fulton are a little confused that why someone who sits on the Development Authority of Fulton County is touting developments in another county. It's very frustrating. So I figured since nobody bothered to respond in the past 2 weeks, I'd go ahead and make that publicly known. Councilman Binder?
I appreciate you bringing that up, and I think when that came out, it was surprising for me to hear. I responded in something that I've mentioned several times as a special service district. I think it's been way past time for us to explore our options. I would welcome a workshop to see what those options are, but maybe also options of having a workshop where CID can come in and talk about their overall plan and how much of a footprint they're going to be increasing. So we've asked them to work with the CID, increasing that to city center. That hasn't been done. Maybe more of the time's been looking outside the county, but there is frustration, but I think we got to control the controllables. So maybe having a workshop of what we can do within house, because when we put our fate in our hands, it's kind of on us too. So
Point
love
well
to see that
taken.
done.
Mr. Mayor, if I could just jump in just real quickly. Consultation over here with the city attorney. Your points are very well made tonight. She's cautioning us against a back and forth discussion unless we put it on the agenda for future. I was going to see if anybody beyond. Understood. I was just going to see if anybody beyond Councilmember Binder wanted to speak, and if they did, I was going to interject. And it looks like Mayor Pro Tem does, so we probably should put this on the next agenda during a workshop, if that's okay with.
So you'd
with
advise me not to recognize Mayor Pro Tem Merkel for this?
That's okay, Mayor Pro Tem Merkel will step aside.
He defers. Thank you, Ms. Eswine. So that'll wrap up the reports. Mr. Lagerbloom, do we have need of an executive session?
I do not, and I'm looking at the city attorney, and I don't believe she does either. So no, we don't.
Excellent. So that being said, do we have a motion to adjourn? Motion by Councilman Dorito. Did I hear a second? Second. Mayor Pro Tem Merkel is the second. All those in favor of adjourning this meeting, please vote yes. Otherwise, vote accordingly. And it does pass unanimously. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you next time.
Mayor and council, the city attorney does have 2 documents for you to sign this evening. If you could visit her station on the way out, that would be much appreciated.